Hear it.
Yeah.
Good.
Love that X-Men stuff.
Thank you, sir. X-Men's my all-time fave, bro.
So if you look up there, I'm getting rid of all my mutants right now. Anyway.
Oh no!
I put all my mutants up for sale. I'm like, man, there's just too many mutants. I said, I'm just gonna stick
Don't do it, man. The mutants are the goat, man.
I gotta stick to my.
Your voices are coming through, by the way, sir.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, through the intro. Doesn't matter, people. You hear us now, live. What's up? What's up? What's up, everyone? Welcome to Go Live. You can hear us in the green room. I feel like we're kind of naked, unawares, thanks to Asa, who is, I've just noticed you're sporting a green screen. What does that mean? You've gone back to your dank green screen. But shout out to everyone in the chat who heard us make dank memes. It's going to be an excellent show. Excellent show. Returning to this show is a gentleman who we haven't had the pleasure of for quite some time. He is my brother from another mother. It is King David. Yeah! No, not that song. What? Sorry, I was playing Nothing Compares to You by Sinead O'Connor. Why is this messing up? I meant to do this.
He's going Super Saiyan over here, man.
Hey, you got a lot of new stuff going on over there. Last time I was here, I noticed through the intro, last time I was here, my beard was black and it went gray waiting for Xbox games.
Oh, damn.
For the ABK deal.
That's rough.
Neo GameSpot said that. I thought it was hilarious on Twitter. Man, it's so fun being back. And I'm actually back with Asa. And Asa, I lost a couple of points. Once Starfield gave the date, I went down from 99%, and I'm back down to 95%. Right, all time.
Wow, that's conservative shaving off your points there. 95, just take away.
Yeah, Todd did me dirty, man. But the PS5 VR, PlayStation 2 VR, yes, Ace. I can't wait to actually talk to you to hear your thoughts. I don't want to hear secondhand stuff. I want to hear Ace.
Oh, you'll definitely chew your ear out for that. But last but certainly not least is her making of the debut. It is Cassie Cage. Yeah.
What up, everyone? Everything's cool, man. Glad to be here. I was fortunate enough to hang out with you guys on Big Cloud's pod and hit it off. It was cool. Good time. And glad to be here with you all, man.
Thank you. I'm glad for you to join us. Like I said on Big Cloud's show, nope. She's too good. I'm taking her. But thank you so much.
Thank you so much, bro. Thank you.
No, honestly, man, the pleasure is all ours, and we're going to get into it. But last but certainly not least, I cannot forget Asa. You thought I forgot. It is Asa! Yeah!
Everyone's already forgotten. I don't want that kind of intro. I've had a throat infection and an eye infection this week, so I might actually die halfway through the show.
Man,
I'll try and time it for all the Activision Blizzard King stuff and just faint at that point.
His will to live is weak.
Yeah,
he looks
throat and eye. What were you doing, sir? After hour spot, perhaps?
Oh, Asa, man, sorry to hear that you're unwell, but
You feel
you
better
can
soon.
definitely. Yeah, you definitely just sleep through the ABK stuff because we will be talking about that. Before we do that, though, as we were in the green screen, we were talking about it, but might as well talk about it now in front of lovely 223 people live. Thank you so much for joining us. We have a lot to talk about. But before we do, what games have you guys been playing? Let us know. Cassie, what have you been playing?
I've been obsessive with this little gizmo right here. It's called an analog pocket, and it has Pokemon Sapphire on it. I love GBA, and so anything to play GBA at like peak, I'm down for. So got this baby right here. It's really cool, man. And it's also one of those things where you can get like things to play like different sort of games, like from different handhelds from back in the day. So it's cool if you're into retro gaming. That's what I'm into. That's what I'm passionate about. I've been playing through Pokemon Sapphire for like the 5th time. I would literally delete my gameplay save file after beating it and then do it all over again. That's the type of special kind of asshole that I am. So that's what I've been doing. Also super into playing Fortnite. The new season has been flames. That shit is like Jet Set Radio Future meets Ghost in the Shell meets Ghost of Tsushima. Like I'm down for all of that, bro. It's been sick.
Yeah, that even has got me like Colt Eastwood was like, yo, get on this game.
You know
so
what? Don't tell me that Colt asked you for an invite. Yo, Colt, I know you watching. I saw you in the chat, and we haven't played yet. Colt, I'm coming for you.
Come on, man. We got to do it. We have to do it. We have to do quads, all 4 of us.
Yes.
We'll be killing it. We'll be killing it. I've been played with Eric. I played with Colt and Blaze. It's such a good game and can't wait to play. That's a good way to sum it up. It's like for people who don't know, we haven't tried Fortnite. The new update is crazy. It's added all these grind rails.
Yo, King totally had his Booker T moment. Hulk Hogan.
What about you, King? What have you been playing?
Fortnite. You just talked about it. Anyway, now the new season is definitely dope. I didn't know they were going to switch it up so much. It's so like plug in and play type of scalable the engine is. It's crazy. Like from one day, and the downtime isn't long. You know, like how some people when they do an update, the downtime is like a day or so or whatever. Their downtime is literally hours, and they drop in stuff. And if it doesn't work right there, they take it out. They remove it and they place it back in. A lot of things people probably aren't noticing. There's no animals running around except for chickens. There's certain weapons that aren't there, certain augments that aren't there. And the reason why is because it breaks it fundamentally with the new gameplay aspects, like the grinding on the rails, the sky city that forms in the clouds after a couple of minutes in the round. Then you can go up there. It's just so many different aspects and different ways to play, so many different strategies now. It breaks you from getting used to the norm, like how we would always fly to the same place, do the same looting, and go. No. Switch it up, get different cars, different bikes. It's dope. And I was just explaining to them how to use the sword properly because, Gaz was like, nah, the sword is not killing nobody. And I said it's like a fighting game. Once you get the first hit, you go into the next 2 hits, and then you finish it off with a finisher. It's dope. It's probably the best topical game that I'm playing now.
Yeah, and it's actually keeps it remarkably fresh despite how long it's come out, and it's just literally the prime example of how to do a live service game well. Crazy. And I think a lot of companies need to take note of that, of Fortnite. It inhabits that top spot for a reason. Epic do deserve their kudos there. So, and then the skins, even the skins, they just keep killing it with. The thing that actually got me to play Fortnite is they got the Dragon Ball Z, they had Vegeta there, and I was like, right, I don't even play this game. I'm gonna download it and play Vegeta, and that's how I discovered Zero Build Mode. And then I was hooked. I was like, this game is insane. What have I been sleeping on this game for?
Zero build mode is crack. Like for those people that don't want to do crank 90s and do all this stuff, zero build mode. And if you don't know what crank 90s is, you'll like zero build mode. But that stuff, it's really, it takes it back to the essence of looting, strategy, survival. And if you have your teammates, picking people up, resin, you get different roles. Somebody's a sniper, somebody's your heavy hitter. It's a great game, man.
Yeah, definitely.
It gave me a terror feels like I felt like, and that lizard dude is dope. Yeah, man.
They're so good. Ace has got his magic up and got the gameplay on.
It looks crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, the bikes are hard to control, but they're really cool. Just like the drift, they got the drift element of it now. It's just a lot of fun. But Asa, have you played Fortnite? Do you play Fortnite?
I've not played any of this season. I've got it installed, and I had a little go at it after the Unreal Engine 5 update, just to have a play around. I respect Fortnite a lot for what it is, but I can't be getting into it. I can't be spending as much money as the likes of you do on your skins and stuff like that.
I've been good. I've been a good boy. I haven't spent that much now. I'm just sticking to my. Yeah, that's the word. That's the key word. There. Key word. What have you been playing, Asa?
I've been playing a lot of until I got my eye infection. I was in VR, which is probably where I got it from.
Oh no, that's rough.
Where were you at? What sleazy place were you in VR?
No sleaze. I've been playing a bit of the PlayStation VR 2 obviously came out, so I've been playing through the Horizon game on that. I've been playing a bit of I can't even remember the Star Wars game as well, and getting bits and pieces of it done just to see what they're all like, and then flicking back to the PC VR as well. I love VR a lot. I play a lot of VR stuff. In the pancake side of things, I've been playing a bit of. I still haven't finished Horizon Forbidden West, so I thought, as I can't play Call of the Mountain right now, I'm going to try and get a bit more progress going on in that. And I know King loves that game. He's thinking, I wish I could play that as well, but no.
Yo, isn't it in PlayStation Plus right now?
It is on PlayStation Plus, yes,
yeah,
but I have it. I'm a member. So I'm going to go in and it's going to download and I'm going to play it. I got to finish the first one first. It's long is all. It's like some games are just so long, and this is one of them. It's going to take a long time to get through. It's quite good, though. It is quite good. The moment-to-moment combat and stuff is good anyway. What else have I been playing? I played Exoprimal today. But Gaz, what have you been playing?
Okay.
Well, actually, that's a good point to mention Exoprimal. I played Exoprimal just before the show, and that game, a lot of people, last week we were talking about this, and I said it looked really good. And when I think David Jaffe was on, and we're like, this game looks amazing. And then some people were like, oh, it's coming on Game Pass, it's going to be crap. And then it's like, why they didn't barely market it? But it is such a good game. Like, it is, like, I don't know if it'll have the longevity a game like that perhaps needs for long-term success, but as soon as I jumped into it, I was loving the game's control, the feel, the different classes. You got myriad of different classes, and everything was, it's so important in games, in my opinion, to get tutorials right, because that, like, people have such a short attention span. Well, I have such a short attention span.
Yeah, ADHD is crazy.
Yeah, exactly. And I was just like, but if you can keep me engaged through the tutorial that leads to the game, that's great. I was having fun with the tutorial when you actually feel like, oh, this feels nice to, in the tutorial, you switch between classes and guns. And it's like, this feels weighty. I can't wait to play this in an actual matchmaking setting. And then I jumped into, which was like a team versus team setting. And it added a really good, like, it's not a co-op experience. You can have it. You can fight myriad of dinosaurs with your mechs. But when you have pressure from the other team who are also doing the same thing, and then the AI bot, it's like the other team is progressing faster than you. I'm like, oh! And you can see all of us didn't realize that we're pretty new to the game. All the randoms it's put me in with. And then, like, you could tell from the movement, it's like, all right, let's shoot some zombies. And as soon as we heard that, no one was communicating. This is random people. Boom, everyone's like boosted into the next objective. Everyone's just spamming their supers. And we were so competitive. We lost, but it was so competitive. And then at the end, both teams fight. And whilst there's thousands of bloody dinosaurs, and the game doesn't skip a beat, the frame rate does not dip.
That's good.
It feels smooth, feels great, man. Like, I really can't wait for this game.
Question. Do you think that Capcom said, okay, we're going to save the marketing budget as far as promotion and stuff goes because we already have the Game Pass element going on there, and we could have, the 30 million people watching that and getting on there. We don't have to worry about that. And we can use that marketing budget for Resident Evil 4? That's
a very good question, because you know what that alludes to? That alludes to the fact that, in my opinion, as you were talking there, I was like, hold on. What that means is a developer or game or whatever, a developer or publisher outfit that's about to have a game come out on Game Pass can think is like, not only do we get money for getting putting this game money up front to get this game on Game Pass, what we benefit from is what I would dub organic marketing, like we saw with Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah,
exactly. And we're seeing that in social media with Exoprimal anyway. Not people who downloaded the beta, people who are sharing the clip. Mighty Keith was like, this game is amazing. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. Mighty Keith is interested in this as well. Like, this isn't like, everyone is genuinely excited. The gameplay looks amazing. It looks as good as what the trailer showed. And that's a great point. Why would games like this will probably better off marketed organically through, because the metric has changed.
Yeah,
like
we don't.
Starfield, you can't
Yeah,
have that.
yeah.
Starfield
we
needs a
don't-
big
yeah.
budget
That
advertising
needs-
campaign.
Starfield needs like promotion going in, tutorials going in to bring viewers' eyes in. This game, from the looks of it, seems like it's multiplayer engagement, and word of mouth would do this game fine. And it looks to me right now that it's streamable, right? So the fact that it's streamable, streamable eyes is on it. Everybody gets a chance to play it, and then we always want to clip and share. We're doing the promotion for them, saves them the dollars.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Cassie, have you
definitely.
played this game?
No, I haven't. It's one of those things where I looked at it. I was kind of interested in it. I might check it out, now because I'm getting good word of mouth, basically. So
Open beta, we can do
yeah.
it.
All right, yeah, I'll definitely download it. But it's cool for me personally. When you say battle pass, like instantly your game gets like slashed by half the price. I'm sorry, I just can't take it seriously. Like, look at Suicide Squad. That game looks super mid, and they're asking what 70 for it now, and it's gonna have battle pass. Yeah, I'm good on that. But I think Game Pass is great for games like that. I can have access to instantly, and there's a battle pass, but if the gameplay is worth it, then I wouldn't mind indulging.
Yeah, no, I would definitely. There's no skin off your back, but from time to try the open beta. I'd like to get your thoughts on it once you haven't had a chance to play it, because you might be surprised.
It's weird though. Like, I found you're right. Visually and performance wise, it's really nice. The classes are cool. The presentation's good, but the game mode that it has, it's only got in the beta. It's only got, I can't remember what they call it, like war games or something. As it's one thing that you can do. And like you described there, you start off, you go 5 versus 5, and it starts off as a race, doing like PvE objectives, shooting dinosaurs and stuff. And then at the end of it, you go into like a big arena to fight each other and collect, I can't remember what they were, like batteries or some nonsense like that. It felt to me like the first 15 minutes of the game meant absolutely nothing. It's the silly like run around blasting, and it's like, oh, you're in the lead, good job. And then it puts you against each other, and none of it actually mattered whatsoever. So it definitely needs something other than the game mode that's in the beta if it's going to have any legs, I think. But
that's a good point, actually. I didn't realize, what did that, because there's a lot to take in, especially the first match. What did that count towards? Like all that
it
extra,
put you in
like,
that
PvE
last arena
upgrade.
ahead of the other team, so you could get a head start collecting your chips, batteries, whatever it was. But
that's kind of huge. If you can get a leg up on the competition, well, it probably has more to do with the battle pass, right? So when you out of beta and the battle pass, and it probably has a lot more to do, like mission dates, like objectives, quests, stuff like that. Probably works that way.
Yeah, definitely. I think good players will definitely capitalize on any kind of time advantage they will get in a game like that. Right now, we don't really understand, or I didn't understand it that much, because I was trying to get a hang of all the different classes, and you're looking at the bottom what they do. And it was pretty straightforward. Like, you can kind of figure out what's actually doing that, because sometimes you get really obscure abilities, and you're like, what's that actually doing? But you've got a healer class, you've got a tank class.
What did you gravitate towards to?
I think I was more the base, the assault classes. I tried. And in the assault class, there was a melee class, which I actually really liked. And I found that the other team as well, they were, because of the maneuverability in the final stage, you could just get really, like, you can kill the other team. And pretty quickly, it's not like long, drawn-out battles. And I felt like the speed of the melee class was way good. At the end, I actually tried because our team was losing, and this is always the case. When you're playing a PvP game, you're always stuck with people who just sitting there going, you feel like your team's like, and the other team is like some SWAT team working together. I can see them. They've got a support class, someone's healing them, all bunched up together.
Everybody working together.
Yeah.
And
And then look at my team, and they're everywhere else.
I went through all of it. Our team was doing fine. We were working together. Someone had kindly gone support. I was just being an idiot with the explosion guy shooting grenades everywhere because I like explosions. We went through all the races like, your team's in the lead. Your team's in the lead. You're doing great. Your team's in the lead. Your team's in the lead. And we got to the arena bit, and we were like 40 points to 0. And then one of the other team dropped out, and they got replaced with a bot. and the bot was fucking immense, and their team won.
Oh no.
It's better than the bots that you get in Halo Infinite, because those bots, as soon as you see 343, they're like, oh god, here we go. In my team, it's just free kills to the other team. So yeah, no, it's just so much fun. Genuinely, this is another game that's coming out on Game Pass as well. So there's like no skin off people's back.
I think that's crazy. I think that part. All right, so we always notice how Game Pass is dropping games and dropping games in day and date, right?
Yeah.
A game of this magnitude, I think you're going to take more new IPs launching into these services like PlayStation Now and Game Pass, all because of the free promotion, the engagement. These companies are learning now that engagement is the key, right? Battle Pass, of course. If you get the game for free, technically, Cassie just said it. I'm not paying $70 and giving you Battle Pass money, but if it's inside Game Pass, you may look at that Battle Pass like, I can do that.
Exactly. Yeah. And then, I would.
And it sells itself because they already got their money off top from Microsoft, right? And now the Battle Pass money, and now is engagement from that moment on. I thought it was incredible that Microsoft is able to make these little deals that just spring up. We didn't know that was going to happen, and then then the beta comes out, and then the announcement and stuff. It's really refreshing to see how they're able to modulate these things for us to get us in engagement in these services. The services are working how they're supposed to now. Both of them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, no, both of them are definitely. PlayStation Plus has got a very strong month as well.
Mm-hmm. This month is crazy for them. It's like 11 different new games. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, both services are really going toe to toe now because, as we know, Sony is, despite some of the statements that they say we're so far behind, it's impossible for us to catch up. Yeah. They are still trying, and they're doing a good job as well. Obviously, it's Microsoft. Also, you're right there, King. That's a good example of Microsoft being agile in assessing what kind of games it would introduce to this service, because there's a constant permeating thing. Game Pass is like a organic kind of advertising driver for them. It keeps engagement high. You need that aggressive take to make this successful. And Microsoft,
I think the teams changed over at Microsoft. I think once Game Pass became the platform, I believe they have a Game Pass division, right? And they have their own section separate from Xbox, right? So you have Xbox things going on, you have Bethesda things going on. But the Game Pass division, I believe they have a whole different strategy opposed to the Xbox platform. I believe they have a whole different marketing team, because a lot of times we're saying, oh, Xbox failed to meet these deliverables, right? Yeah. But then here comes Game Pass to save the day. Oh, okay. Well, this game is day and date in here. Liza P. Games like that we see that's supposed to be heavy hitters landing day one in Game Pass. It leads you to believe that there's a different head that's working that division and that's taking care of that, because it's impossible for one overarching boss to work Microsoft, Game Pass, Xbox, Bethesda. It has to be structured off.
You're right. As I was just about to say, isn't it Sarah Bond? She's the one who really pushed and made Game Pass what it is. She surely is the person who is primarily in the driving seat. We don't know because it's such a multifaceted thing. Like Game Pass is now part of Xbox's DNA. It's a pretty instrumental part of its business. But Sarah Bond looks like she might be the prime candidate to take on the baton from Phil Spencer. But King David shakes his head.
Not gonna happen.
Why?
Matt Booty's in that spot. We don't hear Matt
Booty right for that spot.
What I say is, right, the brightest star is not necessarily the one, right? It's the one who's actually doing the little things that you probably don't see. It's little things that's probably happening that Matt has a total control over, but he doesn't get the recognition. Now, that individual that doesn't get the recognition but does the work and does it efficiently, that individual is at the top of the list, because remember, there's a metrics that's working there, and they're using this AI to evaluate the employees. So we don't know where the AI has who ranked where. Right, so we don't know if we can see Sarah Bond like, oh man, she's doing it, she's the star, but we don't know what Matt Booty's rating is in the company, right?
Internally,
so, yeah. So internally, from what I understand, it's Matt.
Okay,
he may
the
not
AI
be
that's rating them is gunning for his
dude.
job.
Right, go. I'm all for it with AI, our new AI overlords. I can talk about AI for it now.
Yeah.
I'm ready for the singularity, people.
No.
Shout out to KY Bob, our oldest member, for 27 months. Yeah, he says, "Hello, fine folks. The source flows through here." Yes, it does. Of course, it does. So yeah, Exoprimal, great game. Do check it out, Cassie, if you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna download it after this.
Yeah, definitely. I would love to hear your thoughts on it.
You guys are saying on Planet Side. That's an old game that I remember that was sick. Comparing it to that, okay.
Yeah.
Nah, Lost Planet. I saw that
Lost
in
Planet.
the chat.
There you go. Lost Planet. I'm sorry.
Oh, you meant Lost Planet. Yeah.
Early 360 game. Freaking dope.
Yeah.
That was Capcom at their
Capcom as well. Yeah.
So they probably went back to a couple of things, and it was like, how can we rework stuff? Because you don't want Lost Planet to feel like Gears of War and Frozen Tundra, right?
Exactly.
Let's see what we can do, how we can bring back these IPs and rework them. I don't know. They're doing a great job. I think Capcom, somebody told me that Capcom wouldn't be Capcom if it wasn't for PlayStation helping them with Street Fighter. Right. And I'm like, this is kind of true, because at that period of time, they was at death's door, and nobody wanted to fund Street Fighter. They went to Microsoft. Microsoft didn't fund it, but PlayStation did, but it made it exclusive. What I'm saying is, I said that's partially true. I said, because you're looking to give someone too much credit. They don't run Capcom's day-to-day business, but what they did was allocate them some funds, help get one game over the finish line, and that game actually turned out to be great. It was broken in the beginning, but turned out to be great.
Oh, it was a mess. It was lacking. You could tell that game launched when Capcom was at their worst state. They barely got that one out.
But they fixed it over time, and I think the money that they made, they invested it wisely. Their remakes from the ground up are fundamentally taking the thoughts of new players and keeping us older players warm with the feelings of the old games, but introducing it into a new style. And we all are pleased, right? So they are taking the monies that they made from Street Fighter, and they're making these new games, and they're fixing the old games. That's smart business. They did smart business with their money.
Yeah, I don't know how much of that money had a sway on it, but there was a time where Capcom was really not doing well. It's almost like the Ubisoft of the current gen. And wow, what a glow up that for Capcom, because for Monster Hunter World, which was a big U-turn for it, it changed with the Resident Evil remakes, and now Resident Evil 4 has come out. I liked Resident Evil 4, but it wasn't scary enough. I remember that playing on the GameCube. And we talked about it last week, and Resident Evil 4 Remake, I said, this is so good. Day one, I'm pre-ordering it. And now the reviews are out. The game is sitting at something like 93, 94 Metacritic. Like, that is impressive and Lord Addict was here last week, and what he said was, look, they could have done a remaster and we would have been happy. The game was so good. But they didn't just do that. They did a remake, but made it fresh, but still make it enticing. It enhanced the best parts of the Resident Evil 4 that we knew. Visually, the atmosphere, sound, audio design, some issues with graphics, and on the Xbox there's a controller lag in drift issue or whatever it is. But Gen doesn't take away. Is it sorted now?
No. Not as far as I've heard, but I haven't played the retail build. But yeah, it's the dead zone, and it is quite like substantial. The dead zone, you can move the right stick like halfway across, and your character won't move anywhere, won't even start to aim. So it's a bit odd.
Yeah,
should be simple enough to fix, but.
Yeah, hopefully by the time it comes out, I'm sure they will. But damn, that game just took over by storm. Cassie, have you played RE4, the demo? Are you a fan?
I played the demo. It's awesome. I've never played RE4. Played the demo.
Oh, okay.
It's damn good. It's one of those things that RE engine, man. It does everything, and I love the there's a little bit of exaggeration, but there's also a bit of like enough realism in it to where it's a good balance. I don't like things that are too realistic, so like I feel as though this game definitely has a good balance to it. Overall, man, like the details and playing it on PCs. I played the demo both on PS5 and PC. All the things that they allot you in the settings on PCs. Like what PC gamers dream about. Yeah. Everything from how much detail Leon's hair can have. So it's pretty damn.
Yeah, that was a big thing.
It needs a little bit more work and optimization because in some places the frame rate dips more than others from what I played the demo. But I think that's great. Like that's a game that 10 years from now with all those PC options, that's going to age very well. So
the
really
reason why the hair physics is a thing is because when it came out on GameCube, the hair wasn't moving on the PlayStation, right? When you got this one on the GameCube, the jacket at the bottom, first of all, it was the best shearling in the world, right? That's the one. And the fact that he had that haircut and the hair moved, I remember myself and Lord Cognito like, oh my God, his hair is moving. I remember it like it was yesterday. So that's a big thing. And I'm glad that they stuck with some of those things that made it special.
Yeah, the hair actually does look really good in the game. I was remember just live streaming. I'm like, look at his hair. Hair in games isn't not that I remembered that the old game did it badly, but it's just good touch visually. It's just impressive, and Cassie, it's nice to hear a fresh perspective for someone who never played RE4. What does that feel like for someone who is perhaps? Are you new to the franchise or?
It's one of those things where I've dabbled. I love horror film, but like horror games, I like them, but I'm scared of them genuinely. It's just the fact the interaction gives it that level of depth that gives me too much anxiety. So like 4 might be a good game because I hear it's like it balances action and horror, more balanced than previous entries. So I'm interested in it. I'm probably going to wait a little bit. I'm kind of just waiting for that Final Fantasy 16. That's like my game. So
July, right? June.
So like, honestly, I'm just getting like going through my backlog because once that comes out, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. I will be into that for months.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Those games, RPGs, they take ages to complete, so good luck with that. Perhaps though you might want to complete this before you get into that because it'll just end up on your back burner. But King, we're seeing remakes just take over, like taking the top spot like of the AAA scene. We have Dead Space, great game, we still need to complete, and Resident Evil now killing it. We perhaps maybe have been, weren't we a bit harsh on the Last of Us remake, David?
Yes. Yes. You probably caught me talking about it. What I did was, all right, so The Last of Us Part 1, it's a separate, when they added the Part 1 to it, they had a whole remake to a ground up for the PlayStation 5, right? And The Last of Us remake that I had, the one for the PlayStation 4, I had it. I said to myself, I don't need to get the PlayStation 5 version. I don't need to do it. After watching the show and Attic and I doing, R&R with the Lords, there was aspects of this show that made me realize I didn't remember as much as I thought I remembered about The Last of Us. So let me go back and play. I started playing on the PlayStation 4, up-res version that I had. And, PlayStation 5 put the 2-hour demo inside the store. I'm like, you know what? Let me try it. Let me see the difference. Boy on boy, yo, literally, I said, nah, I'm not playing the PlayStation 4 crap no more.
Okay.
I said, this is the tech that they had in The Last of Us 2. Right.
Yeah.
And what they did with it was they just made every scene that much better. They made every movement look that much more. And I said, this is what you expect from remakes. This is what you want. You want the same story told, just a little visually better, a little bit more richer here in certain aspects, give a little bit more texture to things. And I thought they did that phenomenally, to be honest with you. So yeah, I do respect that Sony went back and said, you know what, the IP has probably went as far as it's going to go with this audience. And we do have the PlayStation 5. Let's prep this, right? Because I want to see what The Last of Us 2 remake does. You know, where they're going to go with that.
No,
yes.
no,
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh my God. I'm of the belief that we should have been harder on The Last of Us Part 1. Okay. Look, man, I played through The Last of Us multiple times.
Right.
I enjoyed the game. I think it's great. But listen, the fact that there's no multiplayer attached to Part 1 means that I'll only have 1/4 of the gameplay that I otherwise would have had. Because don't get me wrong, the story's cool, but I love that gameplay. And I love that multiplayer. I love like the slow pace grind. Like I'm in the zone, like in that survival mode. I love that. I put over 100 hours into the remaster alone. Hell yeah, I love Factions.
Right.
And really, Factions was supposed to come with Part 2. The fact that it didn't, I waited till Part 2 was only $30 because that's what it's worth to me. You took away that multiplayer that you said was going to come with that game, so it's a $30 game to me. And look, man, I'm not really looking for remakes of PS4 games. Like to me, that's a fucking joke. And when you look at Resident Evil 4 remake, man, like from what I've heard from that gameplay, like when Leon, is aiming to shoot, like you can't move with him. So just the fact that this remake, you can move around and aim and stuff, like this is a true upgrade. And with The Last of Us Part 1, it's the same thing. It's literally the same thing. And it's like, I could have at least justified that paying that price for a game that really does add that Part 2 gameplay in there. That would have been sick. That would have been worth it to me. I felt like 70 was still steep, but I could justify it because they completely redid that gameplay.
$9.
But they didn't. I ain't mad at $9, bro.
$9.
But they were asking 70 for that game, and I'm like, hell no, bro. That's a complete joke to me. All you get with the only upgrade to me is, it looks prettier and it has in-game cutscenes. It's a fucking cutscene. Who cares? I don't care if it's in-game or not. It's a fucking cutscene, man.
I can't go with that. If it's the same, like you got to look at it this way. If it's the same chick and she got a filter on, yeah, for $10. Yeah, I'll take that.
Look, $10. I ain't mad at you about $10. I think that's worth it. I think that upgrade for $10 is cool. Look, I paid $10 for the Uncharted 4 upgrade.
Right?
I think that's worth it. You're telling me to pay $70 for the Last of Us Part 1?
Yeah,
Man, kiss my fucking ass, bro.
Listen, I'm with you. But you know how I found out? You know how I found out it was $10? And this is a little life hack for you guys. Take every game that you don't feel like spending the money on right now and put it in your cart on PlayStation. I got a text right now, and you'll see it like at the little PSP, whatever, that's in the corner. They told me, the game that's in your cart right now is on $70 off or 70% off.
When was this? Recently?
I don't engage with them. So I guess
would have thrown away $10 for it. That's worth it,
It was like I think like 4 weeks ago, and I'm at work and I get a text and it's like PlayStation. The game that's in the cart right now is $9.99. I'm like, what? The Last of Us? Oh hell yeah! And I said, instant buy. So if they see it sitting in your cart, they're like, we got to get this guy to engage in some form or fashion. And I told Cog at that moment, and Cog, when he was like, I don't see it, I said, I know what they're doing. this is strategic in the way that they want you to engage on their platform more. They want you to spend more money there. So yeah, let's send a discount to this fool who's not engaging but has it sitting in his cart and he's waiting on the fence. Maybe this will start the floodgates open and get them purse strings loose. So I understand. Yeah, it works.
But they were selling like discounts to select people, you said?
I told Cog, literally, I told Cog,
get him in there. We need
get him in now. We need to switch him over.
On the Xbox side. We need some good content creators on the PlayStation side right now.
Said,
we need to
send him a PlayStation chain because he's rocking that Xbox chain too
if
much.
I was PlayStation, I would do that. I would do that because there's not many good content creators on that side. Do not turn to the PlayStation. No. You are not going there. That's not happening. That would be a gut punch to the community.
Oh no, it won't happen. Hope not. Let me be quiet.
Look, man. Every generation, I've always been up for grabs. Like, on PS. That's how it is, man. I don't adhere to any of these companies. If you bring the hype, I'm there for it. PS4, I was big into PS4. I was shitting on Xbox left and right because they were in the driver's seat and they were killing it. They improved heavily from PS3. Like I was a 360 chick back in the day. Like any company's can win me over. You just gotta earn it, man. That's what it costs. Exactly, man.
That's the way to be.
One thing I can't do is I can't co-sign the snitching, man. They went too hard in this generation on snitching. I really can't do it, man.
I've seen some clips of some people going, "Oh, they're doing what they have to. They have a legal obligation to be pricks, apparently." And I just do not follow that logic. I'm like, I don't think you understand. That doesn't predicate. But anyway,
yeah, exactly.
But, it's just like you know what I'm talking about. But it's just like. Now, Cassie, that you are so malleable and you come in fresh plate to every generation. I need to know. I don't know where you sit on the fence. It's nice to know. Where are you now? But where are you now on this fence?
On the everything box on PC. I mean, like, look, bro, I do have an Xbox Series X. Honestly, it collects dust. I don't even have an HDMI cord connected to it. Why? When I have the Xbox on my PC. It's really that simple, man. And PlayStation, hey, I'm eating their games sooner or later. I could wait at this point. Their games aren't as compelling to me as they were last generation. It's a lot of like sequels, PS4 remakes. It's like I could wait on this shit, whatever. And then, hey, Nintendo, I mean, I heard that you can get their games on there one way or another. That's what I heard.
Oh, shit.
You got it in your hand right now, so it is.
That's true. Let me catch up with these super chats. You've been very generous and sorry to keep you waiting, chaps. KY Bob, I've already read your stuff, so apologies for that detective scene with that incredible $50 super chat, man. That is very nice of you, good friend. And it's nice to see you tune in. And thank you so much for that, man. He goes, happy Diablo 4 beta weekend. Which will go into yeah, that one. Much love, guys. And have a great weekend. Have a great weekend too. And I hope you're enjoying the show, man. That's very sweet of you. Very generous. We'll get into Diablo 4 in a bit. Have I just pasted this twice? Yes, I have. Then... oh my God, I've just pasted over all the super chats because I'm an idiot. But hopefully I can scroll up. Yes, I can. So to echo your sentiments, risk it for the biscuit with a $3 super chat, Cassie says, The Last of Us remake was not a remake by definition. It was a remaster. Asa, what do you say to that statement that The Last of Us remake was a remaster?
I don't care.
You know what? They put the crazy thing is they put in the polish to make it a remake, but their aspirations were that of a remaster. It's like, oh, we want to put in all this production quality into this game in order to make it the same exact thing and then take features away. What's the point? I just don't see the point of putting in all that production, all that money.
They did upgrade the AI, which apparently wasn't perfect, but still an upgrade. I played it
bits
briefly.
And pieces, right? There's more like environmental physics and things you can destroy and stuff like that. It's like a nice remaster if you're going to call it a remaster. It's also obviously made for the sake of the PC audience and a new audience. So one thing that I would not want Sony to release the PlayStation 3 version of The Last of Us for the PC audience. So they had to build it up, and then they couldn't leave the PlayStation audience behind. The problem with it is that £70, $70. Yeah, it's that $70. That's an issue. That's too much. The PlayStation audience, like, I'm waiting till it hits their subscription service, which should be in a few months from now.
You said the PlayStation audience is cheap.
Honestly, bro, the remaster version got that multiplayer, bro, on mouse and keyboard, bro. Run it at 120 locked, because I mean, let's be real now. It's an older title. It's on PS4.
Yeah. That doesn't matter.
Good to me, man. That really sounds good to me. I'm fine with it as long as you program it and optimize it for PC. Yeah, that's what I'm hyped for. Like, honestly, Naughty Dog, they kind of lost my interest when it comes to their stories, because honestly, they can't. You have a bunch of soy boys that can't even explain why Abby is Abbyzilla. They don't understand how women build, how anybody can build muscle. So I'm good with their story related bullshit. Give me factions. I'm hearing Factions 2 is on the level of, like, maybe a GTA. Like, that's the kind of world they're creating. If that's what they're going for, you got me.
Hyping it up
their
like
stories, they can keep that bullshit. Honestly, they destroyed Elliot as a character. Abbyzilla, they can't even explain how women could bulk up like that. And trust me, I've tried working out. I don't build muscle. It's very, very hard for women to build muscle. I'm convinced Abby is eating fucking tires to build up that kind of muscle. There's no other way. We're in a post-apocalyptic world, man.
Steroids. We already know. I'm in love with Abby. I think Abby is the greatest character ever. To be honest with you, I think The Last of Us 2 is probably my best game ever. Be honest with you. Just for that character. I mean, seriously, the game. I haven't had a game move me emotionally like that game.
I think you've said this before.
That game is the game. But I got to call Cap on that Fractions being as good as Grand Theft Auto. I'm like, yo, let's bring back those expectations.
From the rumors that we heard, they're aiming that high. And if I think that's cool. To aim that high, that's awesome, absolutely, man. If they achieve it or not, we have to see.
And I shoot at the moon, I don't think I'm gonna hit it, but
at least you try.
I'm gonna try.
But Naughty Dog are amazing, and if anyone could do it, it's them. Let them aim for the blue sky.
It's not. They haven't had no game of service that's even remotely close. No, it's not. Wait a second.
Was good.
Stop the Cap.
I will be on the side of I am positively optimistic about Naughty Dog, but when you do make those kind of statements, like you're right, Cassie, then we're gonna be calling. We've got the receipts now.
I'm not gonna hold it at that. You know, reason why I won't hold it at that, because she loves Fractions, right? So right now she's upset the fact that game wasn't there and it was supposed to be there for years. They promised and they lied. They gave a game that was supposed to have it for $70 and they removed the most integral part that she wanted. So I understand that, right? And then she does have high expectations because she said, it missed. It better come out, like they said. And it's good expectations. What I said, let's bring it back a little bit. Let's have it like, hopefully they can reach like Overwatch type of, that level. I'll take that. I'm not looking at Apex type of level. I'm not looking at Warzone 2, and I'm damn sure not looking at Fortnite. And you better stay away from Grand Theft Auto, which is probably on dollar for dollar the most highest earning game since launch. Like, Grand Theft Auto online to this day still makes mega bucks. So if Sony would ever hit that mark right there, you will stop making games. You will stop seeing games.
You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong, bro.
Like Epic and Fortnite. Yeah,
right there. That's it. No more Sony. This is it. They want that to hit. Nah.
If your view was that Abby's uncharacteristically masculine, then this super chat set from Mandigo McThickens with the $5 says, Gaz, you're femininely handsome. I don't know what to make for that. Thank you. Good panel. I appreciate the content. Painting my house while listening. I'm hoping Capcom does release RE5 Remake next. Thank you, Mandingo, for that
He said your bone structure is cute.
That says more about him.
Yo, you can't have a name like Mandingo McDickens talk about I'm painting a house and you look masculinely feminine. No.
Oh man, Mandingo, I hope you don't fall off the roof as you're painting your house. But yeah, thank you for that super chat. Hoggy Chatty, well, member for 20 months, man. Shout out to him, member of the team. He says, speaking of $10 upgrades. Did anyone buy the $10 Outer Worlds upgrade for next gen? No, I haven't. Actually, that's
not an upgrade. That's an abomination if you're a fan of Outer Worlds. That game runs like dog shit. Yes, definitively the original version of Outer Worlds is far better.
Really? I don't know. So I wonder how well it sold. Yeah, really?
It runs like shit. The Outer Worlds Complete Edition, like next gen upgrade, it runs horrible. It's sad because I really like that game. I think it's a great RPG, and yeah, that version is a no-go. Do not waste your money.
Okay. And he wonders how well it sold. And most would have expected smart delivery, but instead we're being paying for the upgrade. So, well,
and that's really supposed to be a Microsoft thing, right? Like, what's going on with that?
Well, actually, apparently,
technically not. Yeah. So there's another company involved. I forget their name that worked with Obsidian to make the game, and apparently this is more so they're doing than Obsidian or Microsoft.
Also, so let me get this right. Microsoft purchases these dudes, right? And they put out a really good game that's running really great. And then the other dudes that was working there said, you know what? I see y'all making all this money over there. All right, in our contract, we're able to put out an upgraded version of it. It runs like crap. And they're charging $10. Wait a second. Yeah. I can see why that other company wasn't part of the purchase.
You ain't kidding, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's bad.
Poxy, shout out to you for being a member for 17 months. He says, can't always catch the show live, but when I saw King David, I couldn't miss it. Great show, guys. Smash that like button. Do listen to Poxy.
Thank you.
And yeah, of course, it's King David in the house. There's always going to be high energy. Better tune in live. Well, Microsoft's stench is usually good. Then see with smart delivery when it works. Now, when you don't have it, you get the Outer Worlds.
$10? Nah, buddy.
Look, I don't mind like paying $10 for an upgrade. I'm not expecting people to work for free by any means, but can it actually be a legitimate upgrade? Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
I do. I expect them to work for free. You know why? Because I pay my Game Pass bill. So get to work, buddy. But I understand now they're not part of the team. So yeah, they got to get paid too. Like, buddy.
Apparently it wasn't Obsidian that worked on it either. It's someone else.
Oh man, this sounds worse every time you say more and more about it. And I really like that game. That's terrible.
Yeah. Well, that's an example of how not to do it. And yeah, I didn't know about that problem, but I've been still going through that game quite late to Outer Worlds, but great game. I'm just enjoying it.
Better late than never, bro.
The day we got Outer Worlds, I finished it, and I finished all the DLC and stuff because we had the developers on and talking about it. But I'm a fan of that style. That Fallout style, that New Vegas style. I'm a fan of that style of gameplay, and the story was just hilarious to me. So, but it was a game-breaking bug for me because it was a DLC that if you went too far, you weren't able to access it. And I asked them when they got to the show, they was like, "Yeah, we kind of gone back to fix that." But why would you put out DLC after the fact if it's something that has to do with the story as a junction point where the DLC connects, and if you miss that junction point you just don't get access to that? And I'm like, I paid my money and I was just looking for it, and I had to either start over or wait for the patch, so I just waited for the patch.
Okay, fair enough. And the next topic, David, you said that there would never be a PlayStation 6.
That's right, buddy.
Well, forget PlayStation 6, which I still think there will be one. The PlayStation 5, apparently, the leaks are coming out from Tom Henderson. I've got a video coming out next week just discussing whether or not this is even needed. PlayStation 5 Pro is reportedly in the works, and it may be with us as early as the end of next year, which made me feel a certain way. And apparently, at the end of this year, another version of the PlayStation 5 is coming out, which is basically the same PS5, but with a detachable drive. And Jeff Grubb is hearing similar things, and it sounds pretty like the solid. What's your take on a PlayStation 5 Pro? What's your thought on it and the principle of it, and would you buy it?
No. I'll give you all that answer quickly off the back, right? But the fact of the matter is that the PlayStation 5, I think in its infancy, they wanted to launch it as all digital. And now they have the opportunity to launch it with the detachable drive, and the drive will probably pop up at some time. You can buy it separate. It's another way for a company to nickel and dime you, right? Good. You can sell all digital, and then you can sell the drive separate. They get a chance to see the metrics on how many times people are using the drives and how many times they aren't. Now, what ideally Sony will want to do is have you to go all digital. Get all the money by cutting out the retailers. But you don't want to cut out your retail partners because they sell your consoles. So what you want to do is make sure that you do have a drive option to show them, like, listen, we do keep you in consideration. It's a drive option available, and they're able to do it. I can see that in research and development, and that's how they can sell it to the people. The PlayStation 5 Pro, the reason why I'm against it is because this generation has been stunted. Normally at this point in time, because of COVID, we're not where we're supposed to be. We're at least 2 to 3 years behind our normal timeline. This is the reason why I told you it won't be a PlayStation 6. We are 2 to 3 years behind. I thought this generation would go long regardless. I thought this generation would go at least 8 to 10 years, just the same way the 360 and the PlayStation 3 did. And then going through technology leaps, the reason why I said there won't be a PlayStation 6 is because it will probably be a dongle. As far as technology goes, we will be at leaps and bounds. Think about it. 10 years from now, from this date now, do you honestly think that us as humans are going to walk in our room and turn on a physical device to interact with something? No, I do not see it. I do not think it, right? Because if you're going to tell me 10 years ago, this wasn't going to be a thing. 10 years ago, no. Not the same device I have in my hand with the same computing power and the levels of capabilities that it does have. I think everything changes. This thing is as powerful as my laptop, right? In my hand. Why not have a dongle? And they've both been doing it. Everybody keys in on me saying PlayStation. I think both of them. And
even Xbox won't have a console. Well, Tom Henderson reckons they already started to work on it, and 2028 is the magic date. That means we have 5 more years in this generation.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. If the PlayStation 5 Pro will be the definitive version of the PlayStation 5. You will have probably more SSD space, more of, right? To give a little bit more flexibility that they're never going to access. They're never going to access this. This stuff is going to be just for us. I think it's more or less for the fact that they have a peripheral right now that costs more than the PlayStation 5, right? So it doesn't look good optic-wise, right? So those people that already have a PlayStation 5, you have the PlayStation VR 2, but the PlayStation VR 2 costs more than a PlayStation 5. You have to show that there's value into the PlayStation 5, that this is more valuable than the peripheral that's there. Because right now, when you go to the store, the peripheral looks more valuable than the actual PlayStation 5, and that's confusing the consumer. Now, you have the PlayStation 5 Pro launched at $699. That you turn the regular SKU of the regular PlayStation 5 into that detachable monstrosity thing or whatever that thing is, if that ever comes out. But the PlayStation 5 Pro will be the lead platform, and I don't ever think they're going to dig into the whole power of the console at all at any point, because you're still tethered to the PlayStation 4.
Hopefully not tethered to the PS4 for long.
Every game of service will be on the PlayStation 4.
Yo, this dude said $6.99 for a console, and I almost wanted to throw myself out of a window. Like,
We did that already.
yeah.
We've done that already with 3DO.
Oh, we have. But like, to me, it is like laughable in this current day and age, especially when a lot of console fanboys constantly shit on PC gamers for putting all this money into our rigs. Like, I have custom built my own baby, and you're laughing at me for putting the amount of money I chose freely to put into my system. Meanwhile, you crazy motherfuckers are getting pro versions that are ridiculously overpriced. And guess what? Just to throw out or get rid of the previous one. Like, you guys are no better. Like, it is so laughable, man. It's like you're doing the same thing, except you're like fucking gargling a corporation. Like, that's literally what. I'm sorry, yo, I can't take you seriously.
I got her on here, people.
Exactly,
And it's like, and I see these people on Twitter, like they're right away. Rumor. Oh, and Tom Henderson, he's credible. Rumor, PS5, end of 2024. Oh my God, I can't wait to get one. It's like, you motherfuckers, bro. You guys are a bunch of assholes.
Oh, damn.
I'm sorry, man. It's like, look, I'm very libertarian minded. You do you. But when you are coming to me and telling me I'm insane for spending the money that I chose to on my baby, and then you're doing crazy shit, you're a bunch of fucking hypocrites. Not for nothing. Not for nothing. You do you, but just know if you talk shit about me, you're a hypocrite.
Yeah, I swear to God, I love you.
You can't have her on ILP Sundays, the Lord's Day.
No, she can't come. We will have her on the Addict Show. Yeah, that way we can let the curses go. Sunday we don't curse, but you're right. You're definitely right. We're absolute hypocrites. I'm not even going to tell you that we're not, because if you was to tell me, I probably wouldn't get a Series X Pro. I probably wouldn't, because I honestly feel that they will never exploit the processing power that's in it. You haven't exploited the processing power that's in it now.
That's what pisses me off.
Thank you.
That pisses me off. Like, we haven't barely my video was supposed to go out last night, and I listened back to it, and I'm like, oh, that sounds stupid in this. Let me just switch this up, and the video will come out next week after I make my source video, which we'll be talking about, and I'm going to go in on that one. Basically, just saying, asking, like, what does this mean? Because we barely touch, but at the same time, Cassie's gonna shit on my chest because I might probably end up buying the thing.
Look, I'm not opposed. Look, I'm totally not opposed to this. If there are people that are actually gonna buy this shit, and I would honestly be one of them. The only thing is, we don't even have a consistent flow of current gen only games.
Yeah, this is the problem.
Just about even Resident Evil 4 is going to be cross-gen. Why the fuck are we talking about pro models? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? These companies should be mocked and shamed. Not for nothing. They really should. I would never buy a PS5 Pro unless we see next gen only games. Because I still love the console atmosphere. I think that it's closed, but it's simple. I don't mind. I want to go over there to my 65-inch screen TV and jump on my PS5 and play Fortnite and just recline back. Like, I have that set up over there, and it's cool. It just works. I just turn it on, it works. And I think that that's great. And like I've always said this, I will always be into consoles unless it's digital only. At that point, it's just a closed PC. That is the only differentiation to me from a console and a PC. I don't have all this shit behind me just for show. I love physical collecting. To me, that's like I'm a big supporter of preservation entirely. And collecting all this stuff is preservation of the things that I love very personally. So as long as that's a thing, as long as there's physical media, I'm there. Once the consoles get rid of that, it's all PC from here on out. That's just what it is. Because why would I have a closed PC that it does nothing necessarily different. The only differentiation is that it's closed. One company has singular control and physical media. That's the only difference between a PC and these consoles.
That's interesting. That's an interesting thing, that the physical media is the big deciding factor for you, because you are a collector. That's a niche, not niche, but it's a particular position, but fair enough. Absolutely. If PS5 Pro seems like a joke only because we haven't really, even barely, in my opinion, touched. We haven't hardly any next gen or current gen games we've seen. So it's like a very bitter pill to swallow.
Maybe Spider-Man 2, maybe. You know, I want something bespoke. I mean, really, truly bespoke. I want something that is honestly grounded in current gen tech. I'm talking about not like, you know, we've seen with these remakes, just graphical. I want you to get down to the metal and for us to see the AI advancements, the user interface advancements. I want to see something different that can't be translated from a PlayStation 4 or Xbox One or Series S. You know, I want that now. I want that grandiose game that transcends our generation. And I don't think that we're going to get that if they continue to look at different hardware iterations instead of looking at the software iterations.
Yeah. I mean,
at this point, all I see is Sony, particularly when I'm looking at them just throwing hardware. We have the PS5. Now we have the PSVR 2, which I think is awesome. I think that's the next step in gaming, VR. And now we're going to have a PS5 Pro possibly at the end of 2024. Like, this is the shit that fucked Sega. Exactly right. I'm not saying that Sony's going to be screwed by this, but you have to voice the reality that shoving all this hardware in the consumer's face is what is one of the main proprietary reasons that Sega went under when it comes to console manufacturing. I want games. I want new compelling experiences. I want to read like more than just one reason a year as to why I upgraded from my previous consoles to these current consoles.
To fix the thought process, sorry guys, to fix the thought process on Sega lost because Sega was a tale of two cities. Sega had Sega of Japan and Sega of America. You can't diametrically oppose each other and fight from within. Sega imploded from within with bad business decisions. I don't think Sony is going down that path. But
no, I don't think so either.
What I do see with Sony is they are still tied to the old metrics. Right. And their unwillingness to change from how traditional business is done will probably lead to a downturn in their company. Now, if you keep putting out hardware iterations, at some point in time, you're going to plateau and you're going to have too many SKUs that's in the market. At these too many SKU points, you're going to really scale to the lowest common denominator. And you're going to cause a bitterness, like she's saying, that if I brought a PlayStation 5 Pro and you're still making the same game for the PlayStation 4, I'm going to feel like, why the hell do I have this? So I'm going to go where my money is valued. And every time I hear somebody talk, they're going to the PC. I can still get your games over here. I can still interact with your consumers, but I can also have the games clocked to how I specifically built my rig. And if that's the case, this is where I talk about the PlayStation 6 won't be a thing. The Xbox, whatever the hell, won't be a thing because the PC market is the market where you buy a major rig. Right. And you can do the hair physics. She already said certain things that makes absolute logical sense. When these companies see that and say, why are we worrying about hardware? We don't make money off of hardware anyway. We probably make $10 off of each box. It doesn't make any sense. Let's just make the software and funnel these apps and these services that we got. And that's where the money will be made. That's where I see things going. That's what I hear.
Well, the industry perhaps is moving in a different direction based on what you're saying, because when you've got all these iterations of different hardware bits, and there's a question there, Asa, do you really like what? Can I just like, what does that leave? We've already had problems with. I know this is different, but the Series S is another SKU. That development time is causing a developer's headaches. Would this be greeted positively, do you reckon, by developers, a PlayStation 5 Pro?
PlayStation 5 Pro. See, I had the misfortune of reading that article. I got drawn in by the capital letters exclusive, and I read it, and there was nothing in there, and I'm never clicking on anything from that website again. I was like,
It's
what the
Tom
fuck is
Henderson's
this
website,
nonsense? This was like proper trash article. So this rumor is nothing to me. Absolutely nothing at all.
But
won't be going back there.
conceptually,
But conceptually, so there's different approaches. The PlayStation 4 Pro that most people kind of base their assumptions on was a very conservative upgrade that I wasn't a big fan of at all. And it was very much built to hit the normal console price point that Sony always try and hit. There's been talk of like $699 or whatever for a Pro model. I would be much more enticed by a proper, like, this is the premium edition of the console. It's really expensive. Get it if you want, or don't if you don't. It wouldn't sell very well. They'd have to sell it for a massive markup. But Cassie, you're saying that you play on the PC and you've spent loads of money and you've got this high-end PC. Console gamers don't necessarily like PC for reasons. Like, PC can be a bit more work. The console ecosystem does have some value beyond a disk drive. And I don't see a problem with offering those people a high-end experience. Like, sure, charge them through the teeth. The ones that have got money, that really want top-end graphics and don't want to deal with a PC, maybe they'll buy it, maybe they won't. But I don't think it's happening particularly. It's not.
This gen?
Yeah, it's really hard to predict. We spoke about it a couple of weeks ago, and I said at the time, I think Microsoft are better geared to do that. I think it was probably part of their intention, because they've built their whole console ecosystem around like much easier upgrades than Sony ever did. Sony slightly lent towards it, but the Pro was conservative, and it was also properly they were properly restrained in the way that they delivered that thing. Like, if you played a PlayStation 4 game on the PlayStation 4 Pro that didn't have an upgrade, half of the GPU was disabled. They would not dare throw power at it. They are like that in the way that they deliver hardware. So I don't see them doing it. My voice is going like I said that it would. I don't see them doing a Pro. I don't think that Xbox will, because market conditions just don't favour it in the slightest at the moment. But I'd expect both of them to be looking at what hardware is on the market and talking to AMD and seeing what advances there are. And this is the other reason I don't think there are Pro consoles coming, as it were, is AMD can't deliver anything worthwhile at the moment. A significant step up for a price point that people will be interested in. So I don't see them coming. And so the question of whether developers would welcome it or not, it's kind of a non-issue.
Okay, no, fair enough. I'd be happy with that. In my video, like the part of it, I also said, like, I find it hard to believe that the mid-gen consoles would be a thing with all the noise about stock shortages as well. And I'm just like, what happened? Like, the silicon is available now? Like, why would they do it now? Is that even advantageous? A lot of people are saying, well, that's a good power narrative thing. But the power narrative thing is actually working in PlayStation's favor at the moment anyway, because Xbox is not hitting those notes as it should. So does it feel like it? I don't know. Gamer Nerd also.
It's not about power.
No, I'm just saying, if PS5 Pro comes out, it's sheerly out of ignorance. PlayStation is very cocky, and I don't blame them. I mean, last generation, I don't think PlayStation truly had any real competition. So I don't, I would see that. I've seen that they've gotten more arrogant as time goes on. I'm not nearly as happy now with this current generation as I was last generation. I felt as though last generation, they wanted to get gamers excited. They tried more to get gamers excited. Now I just see them making sure that they're investors. And I'm an investor too. I consider myself an investor. I'm not involved in their stock, but I invested in their PS5. I actually have 2 of them. So I'm an investor, and I want to be excited for gaming. So if you guys can do that sometime soon, that would make me happy. But until then, I'm just... PS4 was a better generation in terms of how they treated their player base.
The reason why the PS4 was a better generation, because they got their ass mollywopped in the PlayStation 3 generation.
Yeah,
you only pander to your fan base when you need them. Right now, they don't need you. They don't care.
Oh no,
right?
they will always need you.
No.
But the thing is, once they
know they need you. They don't know they
exactly. That's the key difference.
Yeah, and that's why. Yeah, we are. I mean, it's true, and that's why one of the things on the ABK thing is I want that to be a reminder. Then they'll know. Then they're like, well, hey guys, you want to? Well, we'll work on this first-person shooters. Yeah, sorry about that. We sat on our asses for about a whole generation.
I don't think they will do that. Like,
I think they're doing it now.
I feel okay. First-person shooter-wise, they have a ton of IPs. And the reason why I'm really, really upset, right? Resistance and a lot of these games don't like get me started. I'm really upset. These games could come out, and if they do come out, do they come out as live service? Do you butcher it to the point where you take away the single player narrative? Because I know what Jim Ryan is doing. The PlayStation 4 built their strengths off of single player story driven narrative games, right? And that's where the bones was built. But the market flipped on its head. It changed, and it changed so quickly that they weren't able to adapt because they put all their eggs in one basket. It changed to multiplayer engagement games that streamers, like a ton of people like Cassie and everybody else, these streamers are able to do these games and have fun. And the level of engagement and the fact that you don't need marketing, because these people are marketing your game. We can send them some bread. We can do whatever. We can sponsor them in a way that we don't have to spend as much as we're spending, and they can push our game. Jim sees these dollars, and that's where they're heading. That's why they have 25 games of service or 10 games of service or whatever in the mix.
Oh man, just that alone makes me want to vomit.
But you like factions, right?
As a PS4 player, PS4 was my main shit. I was saying, and a lot of my friends are saying, where is the PlayStation freaking multiplayer games? And Sony said, bet. Not multiplayer games, live service games. And I'm just like, you sick motherfuckers. Oh my God.
You can't have it both ways.
Now we can. Sadly, see, this is why the console experience is just dog shit to me at this point. You're saying we can't have it both ways. Back in the day, I had it both ways. On 360, PS3 generation, I did have it my way or the highway. These motherfuckers, man, as the consumer, we have less power in the industry than ever before.
That's not true. Just
ever before.
Just don't buy. Teach them with your dollar. Right?
I agree. But that's literally at this point one of the few powers that we do have left.
That's the only power we always had. We can actually shut down companies by not participating, by not giving our bucks. But the thing is, live service games, and it's not an evil word, right? It's not a nasty taboo word.
It is 99% of the time, though.
No, man, no, it's impossible because I can give you a ton of live service games that are actually beneficial to streamers, to gamers, and to communities in general, right? But these games right now are being pushed and they need to be funded. Their servers up, right? So you said 10 years ago, you couldn't go inside the house and run in there and pop in your multiplayer game and play Todd across the country and let's get this group going and let's get it in a snappy fashion. Right now, I can jump on Fortnite and let's say I'm playing by myself, but I can put it on squads and it will give me a team crafted around the people that have microphones that I like to play with and stuff like that. And probably close to same playing styles because it goes by a point system like your little metrics, and they group you around the same people that have pretty much the same skill. So you won't be playing with little Jimmy that's in the third grade, and your skill level is such, unless little Jimmy's a beast, right? Let's go, little Jimmy. But
insane.
This stuff is able and is only able to be done now. And it wasn't able before, but games of service allows the game to continue to live, evolve, and grow over a period of time. And what you do, if you have engines, you're able, and if you're like Epic, you're able to swap out these engines. Instead of Unreal Engine 4, you can throw your Unreal Engine 5 and still keep the status quo. This is where we are now. So games of service is a fantastic thing. We can't look at it as a pariah. Now, if they're peddling and they're like nickel and diming you, yeah, that's a problem. But if the game is actually evolving and the money that you do put in actually translates and go forward, I think it's a boon and is a benefit. I just see the benefit.
when it comes to like certain situations, I like to use the perfect world scenario because there's a lot of great ideas out there that would be amazing in a perfect world scenario, but we don't live in a perfect world. That is why the mass majority of live services are absolutely outrageous and ridiculous, and a lot of them do fail. Like a lot of these companies, they'll make 10 plus live service games just trying to chase the Fortnite. They want their own Fortnite, and the mass majority of them fail. Exactly. That's what literally PlayStation's doing. So can't wait to have these 10 plus live service games. Probably the mass majority of them are going to fail. The sad reality of the situation, and they'll just keep chasing the dragon. That's what they're going to do. That's what their goal is, to find their Fortnite.
Said. But he said that. Jim Ryan said that not all of them will hit. We know that, but the ones that do, that'll be enough.
PlayStation took the model in the PlayStation 4 area of the single player story driven games that they saw from Capcom and, like Dead Space from EA, these games, and they did it better than them.
Yeah, definitely.
At some point in time, they're going to get the live service game down pat, and they're going to do it better. Right? Maybe your hopes and wishes of faction being that Grand Theft. Could you imagine if it does hit like that? Right? Look at your face. So Jim isn't wrong, but you chase what wins, right? And I would rather my companies chase what wins than chase what loses. And they're trying to make these strides. I don't think if Sean Layden's in his place instead of Jim, you have a Sony that's viable right now. I think you have probably a dead Sony because I think they were bunting their heads up against the wall, and Jim was the refreshing change that is necessary sometimes going forward. I do
cold,
it's not refreshing,
businessman.
Yeah,
it's the tough pill to swallow.
It is. Yeah. One of those games is going to hit. One of them will hit.
I hope so. I mean, the problem is you're baiting a bunch of people into investing time and money into out of 10 games, 8 failures, probably. At least 8 failures.
It's a bold play. It may be a necessary one, but let's see how that turns out. Gaming Nerd Austria disagrees with you, King, with a €5 super chat. He goes, I disagree. There will be a PlayStation 6, but only in the UK, and you can pick it up directly from the CMA.
Camilla Khan is going to sell it to you.
Has exclusivity on the PlayStation 6. Then we got Frace. Thank you for the super chat. It goes, technology moves forward fast. PC gamers upgrade every 2 years. Do they? With graphics cards?
Well, no. Let me correct that. It's not really PC gamers that do that. That's like console gamers that become PC gamers thinking that, I'm a PC gamer. And these motherfuckers are the ones that are going out and upgrading their GPU to the net. It's if you actually know or understand PC gaming, you would not be stupid enough as to upgrade every 2 years your graphics card. You are a foolish person. You just love throwing away money. And there's a lot of motherfuckers out here that love throwing away their money. So it is what it is. But I noticed that it is mostly, and honestly, for me, if you want to be a true PC gamer, you have to build your own PC because then you understand the struggle. These people that are console gamers and they go out and to iBuyPower and spend $3,000 on their PC and get it sent to their house. Y'all ain't real PC gamers to me. Y'all are frauds.
Wow, gatekeeping.
Yes, it's necessary. It's necessary.
Mine's free, but I changed everything.
Like, it's true. If you when the PlayStation or whatever console comes out and you buy a PC that's like a little bit more powerful than it, then in 6 years' time, your PC is still a little bit more powerful than those consoles. Like, you don't have this pressing need to upgrade like people seem to think. You can keep that card in there and you can play all the same games for a fucking long time. If you want to keep upgrading, if you want to chase the peak of performance, then the option's there and you can burn as much money as you want. You can spend an awful lot.
Yes. It's really, honestly, I'm the type of person, like a person that parts with their money easily is the most foolish one of all. I struggle with that at times. I'm self-aware. Sometimes I waste money, and it's one of those things that I am like self-aware and I'm trying to self-better myself. But I will say, I'm not the type of person to be upgrading my GPU in 2 years to the next big thing. Like, no. That's just foolish.
I think the level of enthusiasm that you have for your hobby dictates how much money you pour into it, right?
Absolutely.
So if when I was doing that PC stuff, I used to do that crazy. And I used to upgrade and do all the driver stuff. I left that world alone a long time ago. But again, if I want to pay at the peak, that's the reason why I got a PlayStation 5. It's the reason why I got a Series X. The reasons why I want to play at my gaming peak with the least amount of hassles. Now, if I do want to take it to the point where I don't care about the hassles and it doesn't bother me and my level of enthusiasm reaches across to the PC, then of course I won't do iBuyPower. I will go and get a power source and build it from the CPU to the GPU and go to the SSD and get a whole cooling system and do all that great, wonderful stuff and actually make it mine. I would do that stuff, but I'm that iBuyPower dude, like that dude you just talked about, that dude that walks inside the store and say, oh, that's the one for 3,000.
Nope.
It has that.
Nope.
Let me get that and let me go. Because why? I don't want the fuss, right? So again, that's where the console dude comes in and he says, you know, for $700, $699.
That's the thing. That's the thing, though. You're saying I don't want the fuss. PC gaming. PC gaming is the fuss. This is where you have complete, total freedom at your whim. Freedom does not come cheap. In terms of what you have to sacrifice for it. History has proven that time and time again.
Watch this. Do you have an iPhone or Android?
Android.
You like the difficulties. No, I mean, I have an Android as well. I have an Android as well.
I just honestly, I think, hey, if you want to buy Apple, and there's Apple dudes that will buy the latest Apple iPhone every year, I just think that's foolish too.
That's console dude. This is where, it happens that way.
Well,
it is what it is.
He did say that because people upgrade their phones every year. TVs come out every year.
I think the same. I think the same of each and every one of them.
Yeah.
I got to keep it consistent.
Yeah.
All you need to upgrade is your VR headsets. Everyone get the newest VR headset all the time.
Yo, listen, I'm struggling right now. Hey, so before I check out, because I got to go and run and go grab somebody. Before I check out, I really need
to check out. As in you're leaving?
Oh, I put it in the chat. You know?
Oh, shit.
In the private,
yeah, I got some information in my phone that I was like, oh, okay. Somebody got stranded. Hey, so please give me your thoughts on the PlayStation VR 2. I know the last time I was on, it wasn't out yet, and we was talking about it. And being a VR dude, and you said you was going back and forth between certain things. I just really want, because I'm at this precipice right now where I don't know what to do. And I talked to Cog, but I think Cog is a little bit compromised, being where he works. So being that you don't have a leg in a company, I just want to know your opinions of it and what should I do?
I have to ask you a question real quick first. Do you actually have a gaming PC yourself?
Yes, sir, right here.
Is it better than a PlayStation 5?
It was better than a PlayStation 5 when it was announced.
Then get a PC headset. That's the differentiator. Okay. So don't go for standalone VR.
Quest 2, right?
You have a Quest 2.
Don't look down on me. Don't look down on me. All right. And I had the Vive. All right. I got rid of that stuff. My question is, do I get the MetaQuest Pro, or this is where I'm at with it. And these are the only two: the MetaQuest Pro or the PlayStation 2 VR.
If your PC is genuinely better than your PlayStation, then the Quest Pro is brilliant. Crisper visual. I've got a Quest Pro and I absolutely love it, but a lot of people don't. It's an expensive headset for what it is, and the mixed reality functions and the things that it's actually made for, it's not very good at. But to use for PC games, it's brilliant, and I love it.
I don't really game too much on the PC itself, right? So
standalone,
this is where my caveat comes in.
If you're playing it standalone, no, get the PlayStation VR 2 instead.
There we go. So what was your experiences like with it? How's the haptic and how's the sound and the controls? I just really, because really, I look to you. Like when I looked at other people, I really don't pay them no mind because I think they're compromised, and I know that you're going to give me a clear, honest answer. So this is the reason why I was really anticipating coming on the show today. Besides the fact that we got a chance to talk to Cassie, I got a chance to hang out with Gaz.
Okay, I've put like a 25-minute review of this thing up that says everything about it. There's so much to say, and people will be mad if I say it because they get upset about
Just link it to me.
The lenses aren't brilliant. Everything else about the headset pretty much is. It's got a cable. You've played VR before, you know whether a cable's going to bug you or not. But it's bright, it's colourful, everything works. It is proper high-end VR, and I love both. I've got my PSVR 2. I've got my cable on a system of pulleys, so it's above my head out the way. You got to understand how you're going to deal with a cable or how you're not. But I don't know. I love both. I love the Quest Pro and I love the PSVR 2. They're my two like go-to headsets. So Walking Dead Saints and Sinners comes out in about a week. I'm going to buy it on the PC because I'd rather use the Quest Pro. If that helps in any way, if that angles it as an answer.
That speaks a lot. All right, guys.
Get the PSVR 2, man. The PSVR 2, I think for you.
It's brilliant. I'm really not downplaying it. PSVR 2 is it's a really good headset.
Based on, for you, King, I think that sounds like the one, especially if you don't going to pay on PC.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a crazy unboxing. It'll be fun. I'll set a lot of people off on fire. But I definitely got to run because I just like this weirdo text. And he's like, no.
No worries.
Yeah. So, Cassie, great
Thank you so much, man,
guys,
for coming on.
Having fun. And Asa, you went back up and score over me. Since Starfield, did me dirty.
I wanted to talk to you about that, but give it to me. Give it to me. Okay, on the spot, you were actually vocally pissed off about it. Well, I said it was September. You met Todd Howard. He whispered sweet lies to you. But why are you so annoyed about it? It's Starfield. It needs to be good.
All right, I don't care about that part.
Okay.
My thing is, we watched their show, right?
Yeah.
We watched the E3 show, Bethesda Microsoft show last year. They showed 30 games and they said it was coming to Game Pass, right? In that 30 games coming to Game Pass, you ran and you threw your money down. Boom! Give me 1 year of Game Pass because this is June, so by next June I should have all these games there. The 10 most important games that you showed, visually splendiferous games that you showed, are not in Game Pass and won't be inside Game Pass until after June.
So why were you so surprised by that? Because as soon as that show ended, as early as last year, we were saying, you know what? And that's why I was angry. I was pissed off then because I knew, the likelihood of it was weak. That's why in January I said it's coming in September, in my opinion, because I don't trust Microsoft's the whole spiel about it.
Then they should not trust my money then, because if you tell me one thing, don't piss on me and tell me it's raining. Do not do that. Do not do that. Right? Just
what if King, the game is better for it? This is Starfield. They can't fuck it up. Right. This game you can't fuck up. You have to wait. You have to get this right, no matter what.
We're doing apples and oranges here. Right, I'm going to the letter of the law, and you're going to the benefit of the experience. Right.
Okay. You're just talking principle of it.
I'm not talking about. A lot of times people say, "Oh, you are advocating for bad games, broken games." I'm not advocating for no bad games or broken games. I'm advocating for keep your word, because as a company, what happens is the more you lie to the consumer, the less likely they are going to be willing to invest in you. And if I can't hold these dudes to a standard, I can't sit there and keep blowing out roses and saying, you're doing a fantastic job. I'm not going to do that, right? Because one, I'm not on your payroll and I don't give a damn. Two, I call Sony out all the time. I will be a hypocrite if I didn't call these guys out. All right. So there's 10 games that I saw that was the pillar of the games that I wanted. Where the hell is my Forza? We're talking about Starfield, right? Not shipping on time. All right, good. It's coming out September. Somebody tell me 60 days, King, you can wait 60. Shut up. I don't care about your then give me my 2 months of Game Pass Ultimate. You send me the $30 back, and then I will shut up, right? Okay. Now, where's Forza at? So you're gonna tell me Forza is gonna launch probably in April? I mean, in October.
Probably October.
All right. So now, what happens to Hellblade? Oh, that thought of Hellblade coming out this year might not happen. Why? Because everything is being pushed back systematically. So you're gonna give me the year that I could have got last year up until this year, next year. So you're doing it again. You're right back at it again.
Well, this is the thing I say. Like, the pressure is on even more as a result, because one, your 12-month thing is cursed from the get-go, absolutely cursed. Secondly, and this is the other point of the litmus test, is that E3 show, the pressure is on even more to deliver
unnecessarily.
This is what Xbox does. This is why I'm used to it. Not shocked by it, but it was interesting to see your observation. I completely agree with you. Don't agree with some of the takes of some of the people who go like, exactly King, like Riskit didn't know how to frame his sentiments well. But thank you for the super chat saying exactly King. But generally, it's an L on Xbox until the game releases. And
where's Hollow Knight? It's games there that I walked away. I gave you a score based on
what did you give a score?
I gave it a 9.
A 9 for that shit show? What? No, way too generous.
If those games came out, is it a shit show? If those games come out.
That was E3 the year before that, recycled anyway. It was a bullshit
you had
show.
Redfall, you had Starfield, you had Forza,
which was what you had last year.
You had a ton of games that was there. That
was a shit show. I'm sorry. Well, okay, if you're quite generous, I think you might be happy with the E3 this year. If it's like, okay,
I don't know.
I'm like, they need to fucking kill it this time.
Kill it with lies?
Well, no, show us the games. I mean, unless you're saying they're going to show us games that are live.
This is why personally I'm glad E3 doesn't have the predominance it once did, because at that point, all these companies were coming there to shill their fucking lie to come out as the top dog. Like, that's literally what it became.
I mean, okay, if they show off the games, and I'm talking about Xbox first-party games, and because we haven't seen Perfect Dark, we haven't seen Undead Labs State of Decay 3, we have Hellblade.
Did they come in this year?
No chance.
Exactly. So far, I can't.
No, but show us. We haven't even seen gameplay for these games. We haven't seen Perfect Dark's gameplay. We haven't seen Fable's gameplay. We haven't seen anything more about Hellblade.
Yeah,
we haven't got a release date. All of that. There's a lot of pressure for Xbox, a lot of burden for them to discharge, and I'm not going to be easy on them this E3. Not
we want to be at E3 this year. You going, right?
Oh yeah, I'm going to be there with you, bro.
All right. So we're going to be at E3 this year. And of
no
course,
bullshit, just because we're hyped there. We're going to be
we're definitely giving 100% of what we see.
Yeah.
I think they ditched the 12-month format. I think the format was a detriment. It was an albatross around their neck. And I think they're going to show games in the future, games that are going to release at some point in time and release itself from that burden and take away that undue stress that's definitely unnecessary at this point in time, right? And they probably will give us a date for like a Hellblade or something like that, but don't give dates. Right, just show the gameplay, and the game will release. Do a Nintendo, do a Sony, and then you have like a state of play like a month out when the game is getting ready to come out, and you do it that way. Learn from your mistakes. I told them you were going to get the righteous smoke if that game slipped, and it slipped, but it didn't slip by much. But we saw 60 frames per second. Yeah, when the game comes out, I'll be happy. I'm not a super Starfield dude. My thing was about the letter of the law. Right, because if I gave the scenario, right, it's principle. If I gave the scenario,
principalities,
the fact, Smokey. If little Timmy had 12 months to live, and little Timmy said, "You know what? I'm gonna game with Microsoft because they said for 12 months I'm gonna get these 30 games."
That's a dark analogy. And little Timmy is literally terminal, and he goes, "I'm gonna wait for Microsoft."
And the time is ticking on little Timmy. And he said, but I only want to play Starfield. And little Timmy will sadly be gone by the time this game comes out. Because you lied to Timmy. Timmy could have used his time wisely.
How dare you? Timmy is now dead. Starfield. And luckily, it'll be a 76 minute. No, just kidding.
Do you think little Timmy cares is 60 frames per second? But he's gone. He's dead. He's not here anymore. So he took the 30
feel
frames.
For hypothetical little Timmy. I really do. No, but it was good to get your view on it. And then you're right. See, we always keep it. We always keep it real here. We always do. Risk it because it's now cool because King's saying it. Risk it. You do not understand. You need to learn to listen and understand nuance. He's very new in the space and it still doesn't just do himself any favors. Just wanted to bother. But thank you for being here and for the super chats. But King, thank you so much. Sorry to keep you waiting.
No,
good to meet you, bro.
Yo,
likewise.
great to meet you.
Take care of
It's
yourself.
hilarious. I gotta check out your stuff. This is fun. This is fun
Yeah,
stuff.
Cassie's crazy.
Yeah,
Appreciate it,
for
man.
sure. And the fact that she's an X-Men fan, I told you my
Hey.
music gotta go.
That's why I went.
No, give
that's
them to me.
Yo, that Wolverine is 1,400. He's out of here.
I believe it. I already know.
All right,
That's
I'll
what's
catch
up,
you guys later.
Take care, man.
Take care. Thank you for the information, brother.
Thank you so much, man, for coming on. By the way, before we go there, Cassie, you are a beast. I'm
House
new.
of
I'm
X.
very new to comic books, yeah. And for the people who are like, comic books, read Power of X, House of X by this
Unless
crazy
you're a
person called
Gene-
Hickman.
Unless you are a Jean Grey fan, because he does her no favors. She's what I like to call a tabula rasa. Someone that clearly the way that she's written was born yesterday, as far as I can tell. Honestly, if you like X-Men, go read a lot of their older stuff, man. Honestly.
This stuff, no, don't listen to her. Even though she knows more about X-Men than I ever could, and she's wearing the hat and the t-shirt. This is for someone who's not into comic book or never has been. Well, I had some comics, but never had the chance to read them that much. I'm shocked at how good this story is. But it's a straight tangent. Like
So some of it's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Some of it is good. I've read a little bit of Hickman. If you like that, I'm telling you, there's way better if you like that, that's cool. But there is way better X-Men content out there. Stuff like X-Men Forever, the original Dark Phoenix saga, like early 2000s X-Men. I'm a Jean Grey fan, so that stuff to me is awesome. But definitely, characters have some of the best highs, and it hasn't quite come back from that. But if you like that, that's cool. I'm just telling you, that's like first base. I'm talking about stuff like home runs.
Oh, okay. No, well, fair enough. And I won't take up the chat's time on comic book chat. They'll be like, what are you talking about? Hoggy chatting with the $5. He goes, well, Sony bought a live service game studio and its first release after acquisition wasn't all that good. Hashtag Sony killed Bungie. Game on source. Yeah, he's talking about the expansion that hasn't been met that positively or reviewed that well for Destiny. But is that Sony's
What
problem,
way?
or?
Like, is it because of the story, or is it just the overall gameplay?
I don't know, because I boycotted Destiny 2. That's why I have no idea. With it. Yeah, I mean,
because if it's just because of the story, to me, Destiny's story. I played Destiny 1, Destiny 2. The story's never been really good to me.
Yeah, no, they relegate it to the sidelines and those grimoire cards and whatever, and it's like, tell us the story properly. I don't know how well Destiny 2 changes that, but it doesn't look like it from observation. Risk It with a $3 super chat goes, they're going to charge you $70 for LS still, which is, what's LS?
Live service.
Live service. Oh, Sony means, and their 10 live service games. I think it'll be free to play.
They should be, anyway. Whether they do. I don't know. Sony cocky, man. They're really cocky. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, some of these third party companies are insane. I mean, look at Gotham Knights. Oh, just because Rocksteady's making it, all of a sudden that makes it viable. I mean, if you told me that Gotham Knights was made by Rocksteady like 10 years ago, you showed me like gameplay of this, I'd tell you that you're lying to my face. So
yeah, no, fair enough. Rocksteady. What do please that game?
That's a Volition game, as far as I could tell.
What's it called? Saints Row. Hopefully not. God Emperor Sofa King goes, facts. Cassie Cage with a $2 super chat. There's a lot of things I'm sure he's referring to there. Just gone blurry as whatever you're doing. The camera froze. DC Gaming, thank you, man, for the $2 super chat. The gaming community is based on wasting money. I think there's a big element of truth to that, and I can attest to it with Apex Legends. Chaos Auntie with a $5 super chat. Salute to the panel. Chat. Special salute to Cassie Cage.
Hey, thank you, sir.
PC Master Race facts. What? Chaos Auntie, I didn't realize you're a massive PC guy. Hoggy Channy with a $5 and being generous as always. He goes, freedom isn't free, but these codes are free. We never know who actually claims them, but thank you, Hoggy. Hogwarts Deluxe Steam Global Edition. Gotham Knights Steam Global Edition. The PC Master Race is getting blessed. So shout out to Hoggy Such a nice guy. $2 super chat from Hustle and Motivated. Good to see you, man. It was great to see King David, who just left now, and King Cage, Cassie Cage on the panel. Funnily enough, when he said, reached out to me, he goes, we've got a Mortal Kombat character on the show now because of your name. Was that your name prior to Cassie Cage being in Mortal Kombat?
Oh no, so I was big on Cassie Cage and MKX, so like that's kind of like my internet alias, because my real name is Cassie, spelt the same way, but I don't obviously use my last name on here, so
yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Risk It with the $8 super chat goes, I framed it perfectly. You just read one tweet and went half cocked and didn't listen. Standard, I'm used to it all. Definitely used to taking the L's. So J Pro with a £2 super chat goes, rest in peace, Lance Riddick. Yeah, I was out last night and I saw that and I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? Like,
dude is one of the most iconic voices, man. Like, honestly, and it's sad to see him go.
Eric Andre show, like, I just like immediately, I was just like, the guy's healthy. He died of natural causes, but I don't know what that means. But I don't
know what natural causes is for a man that's 60, but hey.
Yeah, man, he's so healthy, man. Like that's a bit. It's way too soon, and it's really sad. The guy has so much potential for love, but. When you see what people did on Destiny, they all like next to the NPC character, they just like bowed over or paid their respects, and the family. I think it was his wife actually tweeted out and said, "I'm aware of that, and this means a lot." Man,
that's awesome.
Yeah, and it's gaming. It goes to show. And I was thinking like. He lives on through that game. Like you can always listen to him and his movies, but you can interact to a certain degree in gaming, which makes it a little bit more special. So thank you for the super chats, everyone. I'm sorry, King David had to duck out there. But if you enjoyed the show, smash that like button. Now, Diablo 4 is the beta's out. If you pre-order the game, you get to play it. The open beta next weekend, which is why I'm going to be on the fence, because Diablo always has some day one problems, and I was hyped after playing Diablo 3. I love that game. What happened? Ace has done something.
I dropped my keyboard. It's okay. Kind of need it.
Okay, sorry. I thought it was like, what, Diablo 3? I'm like, what? It wasn't that bad a take. I like Diablo. It was my first Diablo, and I enjoyed it. But I don't know what the takes are. Cassie, are you a Diablo fan? Have you played it?
I played 3. It was pretty damn good. I enjoyed it for what it was. I'm open to dungeon crawlers. I haven't really dipped into them like I probably should have. Just time in life. I've honestly been patiently waiting, and I don't think it's ever going to happen. You're going to laugh at me for the remake of Diablo 2 to come to Steam. Everyone because I refuse to touch that BattleNet trash. I just will not do it. So
what the sooner that BattleNet is not that bad, is it?
So my good buddy, shout out to Ninth Pixel. He's one of my regular gamers that's not involved in the gaming community, but on Twitter and such. But he got his BattleNet account got hacked, and which led to all sorts of insane things happening. Basically, it was like a month's worth of headache for the poor man. So I will avoid that. Yeah.
BattleNet is really bad.
Do you use Game Pass on your PC?
Yes, I do.
It'll probably come to that first, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. It'd be nice to, because I never got to experience Diablo 2. I hear a lot of great things about it. I'd even play the OG version. If they, I would like to purchase it if it's a good game. If not, whatever. But we'll see.
Yeah. See, I loved Diablo 3. I got it when it came out on the PC, and I played a Witch Doctor on there. And then when it came out on the console, I got it again, and it's better on the console. I don't care what anyone says. It's the one game that is better on console than it is on PC. And there will be some hardcore Diablo fans that hate me for saying that, but this game plays better on a controller, and for some reason, you cannot use a controller on the PC version because Blizzard were weird about it.
I played it on Switch, funny enough.
I love Diablo 3 on the controller, though. You can roll through all the pots and stuff, and it's just more fun. It's just a better game. But Diablo 4, the Xbox tried to convince me to buy it. I fired up the Xbox to get the Exoprimal demo, and it said Diablo 4, and I clicked on it to see what's going on with this beta. And it's not the default price, but the price that it presents to you first up is £99.99.
Yeah. I saw that, and that's what put me off.
And then it just reminded me that I hate Blizzard. I don't hate Blizzard. I hate Activision, and I hate Activision's ownership of Blizzard. And Diablo, I mean, we've mentioned so many times on this show so far today, live service games and battle passes and whether they belong in £70 games or not. And for me, battle passes, like Fortnite has battle passes, and in return for that, you get a shitload of content for free. Like that's how the game is sustained. You don't buy Fortnite, you buy cosmetics and battle passes, and they give you content and content and content and content. But Blizzard and the way that they've handled previous content and World of Warcraft, I do not trust that content is coming to that game. Like, it's going to be a game that you buy for 70 to 100 quid, and then there's going to be battle passes, and then they're probably going to charge you for the expansions. If they can come out now and tell me, like, the expansion, the equivalent of the Necromancer stuff, so Diablo 3 had, like, quite significant expansion of its Necromancer stuff. If they say the equivalent of that content, we're giving you that for free now because we're sustaining this game with live service elements and battle passes, maybe I'll buy it. But until I see that, I'm looking at this thinking, you're pricks. I don't like you, Activision Blizzard. So I'm not sure. And it's a shame because I love the Diablo games and I do want to play it. But.
So you'll be trying the open beta then? You haven't...
I'll try it next weekend to see what it's like. But like when people say that they don't like these live service elements, I'm quite staunch on that. They have a place. Like live service isn't always bad. Microtransactions have a place. They can be done well. They can sustain a game. They can give you content. But Activision's approach has always been, we'll have a bit of everything. We'll charge you for the content, and we'll charge microtransactions, and we'll charge that. And if we can charge anything else, we're going to do that too. You better believe it. So,
no, fair enough. And that I agree with you there. That's put me off there. I looked at that price. I'm like, what, really? And all the things we're hearing in the background, but the chat is saying nice things as far as the quality of the game, because none of us have played it. Def4 has Nick says D4 has been chef's kiss. Loads of people are saying it's great. It says it gives them Diablo 2 vibes, not Destiny. Boba Fett Gaming says Diablo 4 is more like Diablo 3, but with depth. So it's better than 3 by miles, according to Wandering Dutch.
It looks great. It does. I've watched people play it. It looks awesome, but it does seem like a greedy ass game. I'm sorry. It's like, pre-order the game for the beta, or buy this freaking chicken sandwich from KFC for the beta. Like, are you kidding me? Like, just that alone, I'm just like, nah, I'm good. I'll wait for the free entry. That was just laughable to me at best.
Yeah, did they do that? They actually do a KFC promo?
Did do that. Mm-hmm. Yep. You buy this this particular chicken sandwich, and you get a beta code. It's laughable. I don't understand.
But I've got it. Like chicken, I'll get the beta code instead of paying whatever it is to pre-order this game. But okay, that's really good. That's really good. That the servers held up for the beta. It's a shame that the ABK deal couldn't go through though. This could be a Game Pass entry. That's pretty much out of the picture now because Phil Spencer and company were looking forward to having this on Game Pass. It would have made a massive, massive splash on Game Pass as well. Like the numbers would be astronomical. Even the PC guys would be like, yo, we're going to get this on Game Pass. Why not? Why would you not? Asmongold lost his beta character. Well, that's not good. Well, it's a beta, so hopefully...
Yeah, I've seen oh no, it's Alex playing it, and he got booted like 5 times in the span of 3 hours last night. It's like,
that's a Blizzard game. Like World of Warcraft happens all the time. Hopefully that doesn't happen day one, because when Diablo 3 launched, that had a myriad of issues. But I'm looking forward to it, definitely, because Diablo 3, I loved it and opened my eyes to it. But me and a friend of mine, Dean, we're going to be playing the open beta. So next week. So apologies, we don't have much hands-on experience. It's still in beta, but for those of you who have played it, it seemed very positive. That's great news. That's really good news. King David's not here, so I feel like we've lost a big element of the Xbox signs more deals thing. And Asa, I know you don't want to talk about ABK, but you did rear your head on social media to talk about it, and if I paraphrase this well, which I won't, we're basically saying that this is it's because it's heating up, and we're coming to key dates in this whole Xbox Activision Blizzard thing, and Xbox has signed 2 more deals with companies. One company's name I don't even remember. These are smaller companies, but Microsoft is trying to kill off this nascent cloud market argument. You drew attention to the fact that they're pretty much small companies. They won't make that big a splash or make a persuasive case on that front. Well,
it's not that they're small companies. So they've signed deals with, I can't remember the name, Boosteroid, Utamix, is
Boosteroid.
And GeForce Now, obviously they did before as well with Nvidia, and their public presentation of this is that they're bringing games to more people, like 150 million more gamers or whatever. But 2 out of those 3 services already have Call of Duty on them, and the other one doesn't.
They said Xbox games as well. They didn't just say
they are bringing some Xbox games to them, which they could have done at any point in time. So obviously it is to appease regulators, and that makes a lot of sense, and I'm not like unhappy about that. But in terms of like its weight in getting things through, they're addressing one very specific concern, and that's the cloud gaming space, that they're not going to withdraw content that's already out there. They're presenting it to the public like they're bringing these things to more people than ever before. And the only deal that actually does that at the moment is the Switch one, which isn't necessarily a good thing for me anyway. But it's just about the weight of it and the way that they're all bluster and pomp on everything that they're doing, and it's getting a little bit annoying. I'd rather they just like, if these deals mean anything, then take it to the regulators. What's the Twitter presentation for? What is this big public facade around it? Because you're just misleading people and making them think you're doing things that you're not. You're claiming that you're bringing it to more people.
Do you think that's massively misleading, though, for them to shout?
I do, because I've seen so many people saying, they're bringing it to more places than ever before, and citing these deals because they don't understand that Call of Duty is already on these platforms, right?
Well, COD is one thing. They're bringing more Xbox.
That's the one that they're talking about. It's just the whole, that I don't like to talk about this in general, but in terms of the previous, I don't know how long it's been like 7 years or something that I've been waiting for this deal to close. And I don't like the PR campaign that goes along with it, because it just feels like a mess. Like it feels like they're manipulating their audience to fight for them, and they don't need to do that. It's a legal case. Just present your arguments out of the way so we don't have to talk about it every week.
It's a lot more political than it's legal, I would say.
Yeah, no doubt. This is like a poker hand, and whether which side cheats or not, is whatever. But each side is going to play their hand until the very end. That's just what it is from a legal standpoint.
Yeah, and that's the case, but it's a political exercise. That's why you get the media involved. You got the FTC's Lena Khan's senior lawyers.
I have a question for you though, because you can inform me, because I don't follow it that closely because it's not interesting. But so they've addressed bringing it to consoles with their Nintendo deal and their PlayStation deal. And I've always said from the start that PlayStation shouldn't be a massive hurdle anyway, but it turns out they've managed to be a bit of a thorn. They've addressed the cloud providers, so people that have got the infrastructure. You've got Nvidia and Boosteroid and whoever else. They've tried to address that with these recent deals. The third point that was raised as a concern was the multi-game subscription services. And for me, this is the one that they haven't got an answer for at the moment, but Randall Thor said that that's not an issue anymore.
I don't know why he says that. I don't know why he said that. He said that the regulators have made a position that they've kind of taken a position on it. I'm not doubting him. So I just don't know what he's alluding to. What does that mean? As in, they must have made it either released a statement, or there's not much of a focal point on that in their rhetoric, which I haven't seen from a cursory glance. There isn't. I don't think that's the kind of thing that we would fail on. Even this stuff with the cloud nascent market, I think it was always so pie in the sky, crystal ball stuff anyway. Like, what does a nascent cloud market look like in a few years?
I think that, and I said, when it started, I didn't think the console space was going to be a problem, because that is competitive, but the nascent space is the cloud space and the subscription services. Microsoft themselves say that, they want Game Pass to go to, we don't know how many, hundreds of millions of people. That is a big deal.
Yeah.
That's where I could see regulators wanting answers, and that's the only bit that I haven't seen answers for yet. And that doesn't mean that it's a problem.
What answers look like in practically?
If I were Microsoft and I wanted to give a practical answer for it, I would put Call of Duty on one or two other multi-game subscription services. Like PlayStation Plus, they've offered it to a price that Sony won't accept, but you've got EA, Ubisoft, Luna, there's a bunch of them there's another cloud service, Black Nut or whatever it's called. They can just go to any of them and offer it if they want to address that point. And I don't know. I mean, Microsoft's words are like it's not about Call of Duty, so I don't know what they want to do. And obviously, they're playing this game with the regulators, and that's all happening behind the scenes. So I don't really know.
It's messy though, and I understand why you fidget about this, because it's like it's just not fun. It detracts from the gaming conversation. It does, but it's such a massive, gigantic deal that it's coming to a point where people will. If you think it's bad now, it's going to get worse, and it's going to be unavoidable.
It's going to be a fucking disaster for me. It'll just be like, I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Personally, I haven't been talking about this. I normally avoid talking about this. All that matters to me is the conclusion. And it's one of those things where I'm like, honestly, more than anything, I am neutral. But I do see, like, you know, the problem with it going through or not going through. I mean, like, you know, I think that this deal going through could get PlayStation to work harder, which I think would be a good thing. I think that, you know, Activision, they need to clean house with Bobby Kotick, that piece of shit, as well as some of the people that they have up in Activision. So on that front, I think it is a good thing if Microsoft was to acquire Activision. But I also, you know, I'm knowledgeable on, for example, Hollywood and the filmmaking process. Back in like the 80s, Hollywood had like 40 major production companies. Now there's only like 4 in modern day. And that's why everything in Hollywood just feels the same. If you get, as an actor, if you get blackballed by like Disney, then the chances are you're not getting any work anywhere because there's only like 3 other people to go to. I understand the problem of consolidation in the long term because we've seen it in other forms of entertainment. So that does scare me. And when you're saying that, you know, Microsoft is going to buy up the biggest third-party publisher there is. While I personally don't care if they do, because it makes no difference to me on PC, I do see that if that happens, the reality is any company can grab up any other publisher at any time. And while I think Microsoft isn't, but this sets the precedent that if this goes through, anything can and will go through. And in that sense, I do find a problem with it. I don't think it's on account of Microsoft. I don't think they're trying to do anything bad. It's just more so the bad. It's the other companies and the future and the dark realities of consolidation in general.
The concept of consolidation and why it's bad, and I understand that. A lot of people, all the detractors of it, or particularly the PlayStation fanboys, have just jumped on this very, you know,
they don't understand. They don't understand. I honestly, I refuse to talk economics with these people. A lot of them can't even meet you at economics 101, which is resources are finite. You really think I'm going to have a conversation about economics with these people? No, I'm good. Look, honestly, I've seen, and one of these dudes went at you, I think, just all these like these pretend lawyers with all their documents that they have like their emoji fingers pointed to this and that. It's these people are a laughing stock of gaming. That's why I don't really like talking about this shit. I want to talk about the games. I want to talk about like the things that actually make gamers, and I just laugh at these absolute. They are not like clowns. They are the entire fucking circus on Twitter with this nonsense.
It is. It's true. People don't understand the nuance, and it's being weaponized on both sides because of whatever that's saying. But I find it hard for Sony to make a case against it, other than the raw numbers and the principles of it. And we had David Jaffe on, who went on Destin Legary's show, and he does not hold back. Called it. Jim Ryan, well, I can't repeat it because that's how crazy he is. But I do feel strongly about it because on the facts of the case, on the state of ABK, its management, its studio management as well, the IPs, and it's in need of a change. If it's not Microsoft, which has a spotty history in management anyway, it could be Tencent. And that's the thing that I really find. So we had 6 developers, indie and one 4D Scottish outfit that helped with Minecraft, and then you've got the rest of them being anonymous. So presumably a lot of them are indie. I don't know. But one of the best points I saw that it's just basically saying, look, China-based giant Tencent is already an investor in Activision. If Microsoft is prevented from acquiring Activision, would the UK customers be better served if they were acquired by Tencent instead. Chinese publishers in our industry benefit from an unfair advantage due to the fact that the Chinese market is closed to Western companies through various regulations. That's true. Whereas the Chinese companies can freely access Western markets. And that's why this very political exercise in America, why I feel like it's destined to be winning anyway, because the executive order will be like, well, hold on, like China, you just say the word China, it just spooks people in America. And it's just like, how can we give that advantage? On the political front, and big business and the push they have and the clout they have, just find it very, very hard to see big business being curtailed by a regulator that's it's not a good look right now for Lena Khan. All senior members of the team are leaving, asking for more money. There's mismanagement. She's going off on a tirade just to build her legacy. And that's my view, but it's a view of a lot of people. Ultimately, we'll go through, but in my opinion, I think the question is, what are the concessions? And you might think this is fantastic, but I think that if Sony hasn't come to the table, I don't think they should get the deal at all. They can't be obstructive and then still get the deal. But Microsoft, in my opinion, has played this very weakly. And I've always said that. And which is what was the notions in my anti-Xbox video last year. Like, what are you doing? Like, you have no sharpen your fangs a little. Stop being so Mr. Nice Guy. But we'll cut ABK talk until next time, until we start.
No, not until next time. Get it off your chest and let's never talk about it again until it's done.
For today, that is all ABK stuff.
And our commitment that we're not going to talk about it again until it's done.
Is not true.
I have the mute button.
True. I'm not talking about it. But I mean, can we end it on a gaming note? What can we end it on? That was the last topic. What can we talk about? Because we've talked about all the good games. So we've talked about ABK. I want to end it on a happy note, but I don't know what to end it on. Bobby Kotick. Ladies and gentlemen, on that note, look,
anything but that.
Anything but that. But yeah, definitely. Look, let's see what happens. It's a weird. It's just getting really annoying. But hopefully one day it will end. If it doesn't end, you're right, Asa. Can you imagine talking about this nonsense on court?
It has to go through for that reason. Otherwise, we're going to get like all the legal fallout afterwards, and there'll be no more of this show. We'll just stop.
I will talk about anything else other than that when I do my podcast. I'll talk about the RoboCop game coming out. That's what I'm more excited for than talking about ABK nonsense. I can't.
RoboCop. There's a RoboCop game coming out.
Yes, there is, and it looks as B tier as it sounds.
It wouldn't be a good RoboCop game if it wasn't B tier, because then it's true to its form. But yeah, let's see what happens. Well, but yeah, Doc Dark in the chat. Shout out to you, man. He did so. Face last week you super chatted and I read it out saying Resident Evil 4 is decisively running better on PlayStation. That's not the case. I think it's better on FPS, but worse on resolution. Oh, that's the RoboCop game. That looks. Let's see if we get RoboCop, some gameplay.
There is gameplay. It's like super B tier. The big positive, it's actually voiced by Peter Weller, the original RoboCop, so that's pretty cool on that front.
Oh, that's wicked. Is that screen space or ray traced? That looks like screen space to me.
This is next gen only games, so have fun.
It looks nice. I mean,
it looks nice until you zoom in, and then it looks. It's rough.
It looks good.
It's rough.
Is it rough? Okay. Well, this RoboCop game wasn't. Top Dog says this is running on the Series S. Shout out to him. Yeah, next week we get Resident Evil 4. It's going to be a mad one, but let's see. I think when it's time to wrap up the show, didn't have anything planned after the ABK stuff, and Asa, you're looking quite poorly, and I'm really sorry. And thank you, man, for just.
He needs his rest, man.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely does. It definitely does. Cassie, people loved you. I knew it. I knew it. I had to. At the consolidation, they said it was bad. I just came on Big Cloud's show. That's where I had the pleasure of meeting you. I was like, nope, just too good for you, bit. You come in, I'll go live. Thank you so much. Oh no,
don't let him hear that. No, it is awesome. The chat is really cool. I wish I could have conversed with more, honestly, but you guys are really awesome, man. Shout out to you. Thanks for having me on, guys. It was good to meet you as well. It's really cool. I do hope you feel better. yeah, I love talking about gaming. I also love talking about film, more so old school film. I'm very old school. I'm a bit on the retro side. So yeah, that's what I'm into. If you want to check out what I got going, you can always hit me up on Twitter, Cult Classic Cage, or YouTube, Cult Classic Cage, and talk about whatever I'm personally interested in or what I have personal problems with. So it's very personal to me. And if you're into that, hey, it's cool. If not, totally understand. But I'm actually like less than 20 subs away from hitting 1.5K. I didn't think I'd get 300 subs. So the fact that I'm as far as I am is shocking. So
no, wicked. Everyone in chat, Isla, thank you so much. You're so lovely. She's linked Cassie's stuff on Twitter. Follow her on YouTube.
Thank you, man.
Smash the subscription. Get her to 1.5K and more. Shocking. People need that's what people need. No nonsense chat, and that's why I had an affinity with you on the show. Thank you so much. I hope you had a good time. You killed it.
I did. It was awesome, man. It was good meeting King David as well. So it's a shame you couldn't be here right now, but hey, I gotta appreciate what time you do have in this life. So
yeah, absolutely. Very, very, very poignant there as well. Shout out to you, Cassie. Thank you so much again. We had an absolute blast. Asa, I know you're in a rush to go. Anything to say to the peeps?
No, I'm going to thank everyone for coming again. And Cassie, you've earned a lot of fans today. I can see that they've loved your takes on there because you're honest and passionate about the things that you like, and you don't care about Activision Blizzard. So it's been great. King, if you happen to catch us back, everybody loves King coming on this show. So hopefully we'll get him again soon. But yeah, apart from me being like a mess, it's been a good one. So Gaz, what are you up to for the next week?
So very busy. I have to do a source video, which I'm trying to get out before Wednesday, because on Wednesday it's a Ramadan, and Ramadan means I have to be on good behavior, and the source and good behavior don't go well together. So I have pressure to make this video and release it before Wednesday. Oh, by the way, it's Samurai QVG's birthday. He's doing a live stream in a now or maybe in a bit. So I might just join his live stream, play some Halo. Just to say happy birthday. And I've got the videos as well. Another video in the works, sort of talking about the mid-gen consoles and why we don't need it, and lots more stuff. And I'll be live streaming as well, my personal thing where I just, I've done some streams. So yeah, anyway, you don't need to say Aces ready to go. Thank you so much, everyone. Lovely to. You guys kill it every time, and I'm really grateful for you being here. So smash the like button if you enjoy the show, and we'll see you. And also shout out to Spotify users as well, and everyone on podcast stuff, man. Thank you so much, everyone. Shout out, peace, and we'll see you next time. Brrrah!